All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is Coffee with Jentry. I'm not trying to be like a talk show host here. I just thought it sounded good for a morning Facebook Live. My name is Jentry O'Daniel. I have a bachelor's degree in nutrition. I'm also a physician assistant, and I've been an ER PA for the last 3 years. But recently, I've really gotten more involved with nutrition through my husband and I's health and wellness company. And I've just re-energized myself about that. Realized that there's so much knowledge that I stored away as I was developing my PA mindset that I want to bring back to the world and serve people with. Sandy, it's 68 degrees here. Oh, lucky you. I love it. So I decided I want to bring this knowledge back to the world and to myself and to start sharing it with everybody. So on these, every Wednesday morning, I'm going to be hopping on here with the main purpose of education. We really want to make healthier individuals, healthy families, healthy communities, and it all starts with knowledge and being able to make good decisions every single day to get us to that point. So, like I said, as you're hopping on here, let me know who's watching. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and hashtag replay. We'll go ahead and get this started. So, the very first thing I wanted to talk about was the YoYo diet. Have you ever heard that term before? It's those people who are never severely overweight, but also not super thin. And they're always fluctuating. They're always wanting to gain 10 pounds or lose 10 pounds, or they diet and they lose those 10 pounds and then they quickly gain it back. And they do this for years. It's called diet cycling. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going on a beach vacation. I got to lose 10 pounds. They go on the beach vacation and then it comes right back. Or I'm getting married, I gotta lose 20 pounds. So they diet, lose 10 pounds, and then as they get married, it comes back on. And just that cycle of spinning our body, you know, most of us, and for many years even research, thought that's not that big of a deal to cycle like that, losing and gaining 10 to 20 pounds throughout your life. However, yes, Tammy, I'm up early. This is early for me. Hey, Jared. So I just really wanted to talk to you guys about the newest research on yo-yo dieting and what it can actually be more detrimental to you than what we originally thought. So yo-yo dieting, back and forth. So we have this crash, intense change in our dietary habits for a short period of time. It's unsustainable, and then we gain that weight back. And then we're like, ugh, I can't believe I lost all that weight, now I'm gaining it back, and then we crash into another diet. And for me, a diet is different than a lifestyle. For me, a diet is something that you're doing for a fixed amount of time to reach a certain weight goal. And then once you've reached that goal, you stop the diet and then go back to your normal whatever eating habits. So that's what a diet is versus like dietary foods. That's how I'm using that term. So more of these erratic changes, and they're usually very rapid. Like next Monday, I'm starting this, and you jump right into it. So what the latest research is finding is that this is actually pretty detrimental to your health. We're seeing increased risk of coronary artery disease. We're seeing increased diabetes. We're seeing increased cancer. We're seeing damage to those arteries. And then we're also seeing short-term decreased energy, muscle wasting, and increased body fat. So that's led a lot of research to see if is this correlated or is this not correlated. And what we think right now is that these rapid dietary changes affect your cortisol levels. And the cortisol is the stress hormone. So when you rapidly change things, our bodies are still very archaic in ways that we adjust to our environment, so that when we rapidly change our diet or rapidly cut out carbs or rapidly take, no fats or extreme calorie cutting, when we do that, our body goes into what we call like a starvation mode, or we trick our minds into thinking that food is scarce. So then whenever the food changes, whenever we inevitably break that diet, our mind and our bodies hold on to that food, so that the weight gain after these yo-yo diets is more rapid, it's usually more fat, and it's usually a little bit higher even than when you started before the yo-yo. And it's a little bit higher because you're telling your brain that food is not reliable and that it's could be scarce in the future. So whenever you have any extra energy stores, instead of burning it, our bodies always want to conserve energy when possible, so it turns it into fat stores. So what we're seeing is that people start here, they crash diet, but then they go a little bit higher. and then they crash diet again, and then they gain a little bit more weight, and then they just want to yo-yo again because they're like, gosh, I was 145 pounds and now I'm 153 pounds, and I did all that for nothing. So I was looking into this a little bit more, and I found a study I was really interested in. They studied 153,000 postmenopausal women for 11 years. They had these women record themselves whether they thought they were a healthy weight, overweight, or obese, so that was subjectively reported. And they watched these women for 11 years. And they wanted to correlate dietary habits with sudden cardiac death and coronary artery disease are the two markers they were looking for. And what they found is in the overweight and in the obese category, there was no significant changes in the people that yo-yo dieted versus had a steady weight gain throughout those years. However, in the women that reported that they were a healthy weight, there was a 66% increase in coronary artery disease and sudden cardiac death in those women who yo-yo dieted versus women who reported a steady weight throughout that time period. There was a 3.5 times more risk of sudden cardiac death and 66% increase in coronary artery disease related deaths. So they think this is related to that yo-yo. And in fact, the more frequently they diet cycled, the increased risk that they had. So I found that to be really, really fascinating. There's new research going on too that this yo-yo can actually affect the gut biome. So they're thinking right now that as you gain that weight back, your gut actually can have like an obesity mind, and it stays in that mind, making it harder to lose weight in the future. So there's a lot of research going on with that right now, because that's all the fad right now is learn all about the gut biome and how it serves us in a daily way. And then I got to think about too the psychological effects of yo-yo dieting, right? Because so often we tie our emotions with how successful we are. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing awesome, I'm losing weight, look at me, yo, yo, yo. And then we gain that weight and we're like, are you kidding me? How did I let this happen? Why did I get so lazy? Can anyone relate to this? Like, how did I let myself lose those 10 pounds and then gain it right back? If you've done that, drop an emoji. Let me know your story. I know I've been that, and I'm totally psychologically related to my weight and diet performance. So it just feels like a constant cycle of success, failure, success, failure, success, failure, and how that can act on your mind. So check out the research on yo-yo dieting. Try your best to stay away from it. I know we've all done it before. So everyone agrees that the better way is general lifestyle change, which is a gradual daily effort and improvement to improve your diet. So that's going to be more slow. That's going to be more gradual. I always recommend changing 2 to 3 times a week, or 2 to 3 things a week. Hey, Dana. And as you make those adjustments, tolerate that for about 2 weeks, and then add another 2 or 3 things in. Do that for a couple weeks. Add another 2 to 3 things in. So examples maybe I'm going to drink half my body weight in water, or I'm going to cut out soda, or I'm going to eat 3 green vegetables a day. Trying to make these small changes every single day. And you know your weight isn't going to drop off as quickly changing this, but it's going to be more long-term. It's going to be more of a general lifestyle. This is me. This is how I eat now. This is how my family eats now, versus going on that yo-yo cycle. If you have been a yo-yoer in the past, give me a shout out if anyone's willing to acknowledge that. If you've been a yo-yoer in the past, ways to help reverse yo-yo damage, increasing your protein. That was a huge way to help yourself with the yo-yo, because it preserves that muscle mass. It increases, but great source for energy. It's sustained energy. And when you eat protein, your blood sugars don't rise and fall. And when those rise and fall with the blood sugar, your cortisol levels can get released and off. So that's another great way. I'm going to have a whole talk on protein coming up. So look forward to that. We'll talk about all the benefits, the different types, things like that. Another great way that they're recommending to get out of the yo-yo is strength training. And this kind of goes along with the protein. So we really want to have large amounts of muscle mass. And I'm not talking big and bulky, but I'm talking good, strong body structure to get us through our days. And as we increase muscle mass, hey Zach, good morning. You're welcome for the info. as we increase our body's muscle mass, we increase our metabolic rate, and as we increase our metabolism, our cortisol levels can stay more stable. So adding strength training can help you get in and out and stay out of that yo-yo. Other recommendations was finding herbs and botanicals to help support your liver, because your liver is in charge of gluconeogenesis, which is converting everything to and from fat. So, glucose, but fat's part of that. So that can be a great way to support your metabolism as well. So kick yourself out of the yo-yo. Give yourself some grace if you've been a yo-yo in the past. Research is always changing and evolving, but I found this super interesting. Next week with Coffee with Jentry, we're going to talk about the grocery store, what aisles to avoid, what aisles to stay with, how to stay on a budget, how to create a grocery list that serves you, how to combine your ingredients so that you can have 3 or 4 different meals in that week without buying a whole bunch of all different things to make it more cost effective to eat healthy at the grocery store. Hey Ashley, you're a yo-yo? Yep, I was there too. So I hope this was able to serve somebody. Again, if you're catching the replay, send me a hashtag replay. And if you have a question, if you have something that's like, I have always struggled with this, or I need help with this, or I've always wondered about this, or I can't sift through the research well enough on my own to understand, let me know. Send me a message. Put it in the comments down there. I would love to take anybody's ideas on what to talk about on these Wednesday mornings. So start the day off great. Enjoy a delicious cup of coffee. And then I always like to, I'm really into mantras. That was one of my New Year's resolutions. And so today's mantra for everybody, I would love you to think 90% fuel, 10% fun. So your food should be 90% fuel, 10% fun. So when you're going to the grocery, when you're creating your meals, when you're making food with your kids, intermittent fasting, yes, absolutely. That's definitely one of my topics, Jared. So anyways, 90% fuel, 10% fun. If you find that balance, if you serve your body 90% of the time, giving it the fuel that it needs, and then that 10% of the time, letting yourself enjoy it a little bit, I think you're always going to find balance and success with whatever lifestyle that you choose. You guys have a great morning. I got to head to work. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.